Hey everybody, I'm 9 First Warning meteorologist Brandon Spinner in this live stream, which is streaming at 6 o'clock on Saturday, October the 28th. We're going to be breaking down our chance at rain, but also a little quirk in the forecast as we look ahead to Halloween. And it could start with the letter S, but we'll get there when we get there. As far as what's going on out there today, it's been a pretty gloomy Saturday across much of the tri-state. A lot of cloud cover. We've seen some rain. We've also even started to feel some of that colder air sneak back into the picture out there. Here's a wider look at satellite and radar. Some rain out towards the north of Lexington and Louisville, not Lexington, southern portions of Indiana, and then down into southeastern portions of Illinois. But here's the big thing. This is on its way towards us. So let's break down this forecast for you and get you through the weekend. Rain out towards our south and west. This first wave likely to push in right around 8 o'clock for Metro Cincinnati, maybe slightly later than that. It's to the south and west, though. You notice a whole lot more moisture. South central portions of Illinois, southeastern Missouri, and Arkansas, and that rain is heading here. We had a cold front roll through, and this is kind of going to ride along the railroad tracks of that through the overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Don't be surprised if out there tomorrow morning we're looking at some still heavy rainfall across the tri-state. Already seeing some of these showers trying to push into southeastern and south central portions of Indiana out towards just south of Columbus and towards I-65. This heading out towards downtown Cincinnati, probably again around that 8 o'clock time frame, maybe slightly later than that. So between now and 8, I think you'll be okay, maybe outside of a few sprinkles or mist out there. Out towards the south and west, it's likely to get a little wetter a lot sooner, out towards Boone County and then into Gallatin, Carroll, as well as parts of Switzerland and Ohio counties in southeastern Indiana. As we go through the rest of your evening, rain really starts to fill up the radar, and we're likely to see some heavy rainfall, especially as we get towards midnight. Let's take a look at future view. By 9 or 10 o'clock, wider spread, and then we get towards midnight, you notice how widespread and in some spots heavy that rain could be. We're talking downpours, which could be with some embedded thunderstorms. Now, don't anticipate any severe weather out of this, but as we roll through the overnight tonight, could have a few rumbles of thunder that are loud that may wake you up or wake the dogs up. These heavier downpours and showers continue past midnight. And here's a snapshot at 4 o'clock. Still widespread and heavy. Now, as you get towards the south, if you're heading down to Lexington, you may miss out on most of this for most of the night. But here in downtown Cincinnati and the surrounding counties in the tri-state, likely to be a wet evening and overnight into early parts of tomorrow morning. And then as we roll throughout parts of your Sunday, we get some breaks. I think that break comes between 7 and 8 o'clock for most areas, maybe a little closer to 11 o'clock in some areas. And then through the middle of the afternoon, pockets of drier weather. But by 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we start to see a few more waves roll in. Now, the waves on Sunday evening start to become a little wider spread, especially 7, 8, 9 o'clock. This is impactful because we've got a big football game tomorrow. Football in the fact of soccer. Soccer match. FC Cincinnati hosting their playoff game. It's their first round of the MLS playoffs as they got that first round bye, and they're hosting a game as the top seed in MLS this year. You notice heavy rainfall out there. The kickoff for that is at 8 o'clock. Here's 9 o'clock. Widespread heavy rainfall. Could have some thunderstorms with that. Big deal, though, is the colder air behind it as well. Overnight into Monday, wider spread rainfall finally starts to really subside. Wider spread rain probably till 4 or 5 a.m. Still could have some issues out the door for your morning commute Monday. The clouds linger through midday Monday, maybe even a few sprinkles and showers towards the south of town. Notice clear skies come in from the northwest. It's not the best news because the clear skies means the colder air is going to start to filter in, especially behind the cold front Monday night into Tuesday. It's going to drop our temperatures, and it's going to drop them fast and furiously. And we're going to have a look at those here for you in just a second. As far as our rainfall, anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Some spots could see pockets near 2 inches of rain by the end of the morning on Monday and midday. That's a total of Saturday night, Sunday night, and early Monday morning. So the next 36 hours, 1 inch to 1.5 inches. That's big news because we've only seen about 1.5 inches the entire month of October. It's been a really dry month of October. It's really been a pretty dry fall altogether. In top of September, August was very dry as well. This could help get us out of the drought as we move on through the middle of the week, and we'll get that update on Thursday from the U.S. Drought Monitor. Now, here's the issue, as I mentioned. FC Cincinnati hosting the New York Red Bulls for that playoff game. Kickoff, 8 o'clock. Not looking great. So if you do have tickets for that game, I'm not telling you not to go. I'm just telling you, grab the rain gear and be prepared to get wet. But let's get that place rocking, and let's move on to the next round. Here's the next round of weather. Not the best. 60 for Sunday, 48 Monday. This blue line right there, that is the average for where we should be for this time of the year. Around 60 degrees. Those aren't 60s. Those aren't even 50s. Mid-40s out there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And what you can't see here is Tuesday is going to be a breezy day for Halloween. We're talking wind gusts potentially up towards about 30 miles per hour. And that's going to make 44 degrees at 4 o'clock feel a whole lot colder. Maybe the upper 30s, maybe the mid-30s. And then as we get towards the evening, notice as the clouds build, yeah, that's not a joke. A chance that we could see some snowflakes flying. Now here's the deal. No accumulation, not expecting even a dusting, but some snow flurries can't be ruled out Tuesday night into the early parts of Wednesday morning. And this is later on in the trick-or-treating. I think officially it's what, between 4 and 7 o'clock or 5 and 8. I don't know what the rules in your neighborhood is, but usually it's between 4 and 8 o'clock for most communities. As we get towards the later part of that, we could have some snowflakes. And look where those temperatures are sitting. Mid-30s out there, yeah. So definitely a chillier evening on the way, and that doesn't even factor in wind gusts, which will probably be close to about 20 to 30 miles per hour. What that's going to mean, wind chills probably into the 20s late Tuesday night for those kids. So hopefully they've got a warm costume, and if not, you may have to get that sweatshirt underneath those costumes and then a coat on top because it's going to be quite chilly. Here's that chance at snow. Low pressure system coming in out of Michigan starts to push towards the south into Indiana on Tuesday evening. Now, as you notice here, most of that stays to the north, but there have been a few computer models that push it right here over the tri-state. That's why we're going with a slight chance at flurries. Not saying it's going to be widespread snow, not saying anything of that matter, but we could have a few of these flurries out the door Wednesday morning as well. The big deal will be the colder temperatures and more likely the frost and possibly and most likely the freezing that we see Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning. Here's a snapshot of Tuesday morning. Everybody in that darker blue or purple looking at the potential for a hard freeze. Now, the difference between a freeze and a hard freeze is a freeze happens when we get to 32 degrees. A hard freeze is when we're below 28 degrees. That's usually what kills most of those plants, and it puts them dormant through the winter and into the spring until we start to warm up a bit, and then sometimes you can get that circadian rhythm and all that all messed up. But you do notice a hard freeze is going to be possible out there as we look ahead to Tuesday morning. Here's Tuesday's low temperatures. 23 degrees, 28 degrees, 30 degrees out of Maysville and Union. So quite chilly out there out the door on Tuesday morning. In the afternoon isn't looking much better. Here's the high temperature, 42 to 47. So what we're looking at is some of the coldest air we've seen so far this season, and this is still October. This will be Halloween, October 31st. As we look ahead to November 1st, it still looks cold. The good news is as we fast forward and take a quick snapshot at next weekend, the cold's not going to be around the entire week, but it's still going to make things chilly Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Saturday and Sunday, we rebound a bit back into the upper 50s, low 60s. A snapshot at next Sunday right now looks like we could have a slight chance at rain. That's still far out there, something we'll continue to keep you up to date on. And then past that, as we look ahead from November 5th through Veterans Day, looks like we're right about average. That's what that gray on the screen means. It means we're more likely to be an equal chance of average or thereabouts comparative to below normal or above normal. There's the good news. But the bad news is we've got a couple of days of nasty weather between now and then, and we go from heavy rainfall and thunderstorms starting tonight and through tomorrow to the cold through the early and middle parts of the week. Tomorrow's high temperature 60 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Rain likely early in the day. We get a bit of a break through the middle of the day Sunday, and then late Sunday, those rain showers and possibly thunderstorms are back, and overnight into Monday, we start to see those break. But Monday's high temperatures only 48. Tuesday's only 46. And look at the low temperatures Monday night into Tuesday, 28, 27, then 27 for Thursday morning. So yes, we're looking at our coldest air so far of the season. And as you see on your Super 9 day, I do have those snowflakes out there. More of a term of caution, not anything that I expect to be accumulating. It's more so going to be one of those you have to ask yourself, did I just see a snowflake out there Tuesday night? And I think the better shot at that is going to be north and to the northeast of downtown Cincinnati, out towards places like Wilmington, Mason, Middletown, and even out towards Westchester. As far as Friday, looking nice for any of those remaining playoff teams for those Friday night football games. And I do want to break down the rest of this rain again for you before I let you go. It's currently 6:11. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're on YouTube and on our OTT platforms. We call those our streaming channels. You can find those Apple TV, I believe Fire Stick, and Roku TV devices is where you can find us. And when we do severe weather coverage, we're always streaming there as well. So if you haven't found us on those channels, you're going to want to subscribe to that. You're going to want to follow us. You're going to want to like us. Because when we do get into more of that inclement weather, we're now turning towards the winter weather season, so we'll be doing more live streams for winter weather. But we could potentially have some strong or severe storms at times. Remember, that could pop up at any portion of the year. So if you do have any questions, don't forget to drop those here in the comment section below, and I'll read those off. But we've got about 35 of you watching here on Facebook. I haven't been able to look at the YouTube numbers, but we've got some cold and some rain on the way, and as I mentioned, you could see some snowfall, but we're not going to see any accumulation. Rain to the south and west of us. That's already starting to push in, and as we break down your forecast one more time, we're looking at those showers to the south and west, out into south central portions of Indiana, heavier rain out into south central Illinois, and then into southeastern portions of Missouri. That's heading to the north and the east, and it's really going to pick up within the next couple of hours. Here's a snapshot. That shower is moving to the north and east around 45 miles per hour, according to Doppler radar. That would take that out towards Versailles right around 6:30, so that's about 20 minutes from now, and that's still heavier rainfall is still to the south and west of you. Let's roll through the next few hours. By midnight tonight, widespread rainfall, heavy at times, some downpours, some rumbles of thunder. That can't be ruled out. And as we roll through the overnight and into early parts of Sunday, we're looking at some heavier downpours, which could produce some localized flooding in some spots. We're not talking about widespread flooding, but 1 to 2 inches of rain on top of soils that have been hard and dry for the last couple of months means we could see some runoff in some areas because it's not able to soak it up, maybe like a moist soil would. No, we're not talking saturated soils, but you'll get where I'm going. Heavier rainfall overnight and into Sunday, subsides midday Sunday, and then into Sunday evening, another influx of rain and moisture coming through. And that will finally fade away by midday Monday, but the colder air is just behind it as we roll throughout the rest of your Monday and through the rest of the week for that matter. 1 to 2 inches of rain is likely in most communities. I'd say it's more so right around 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. At some spots, maybe near 2. And that 2 inches of heavy rainfall could potentially lead to some of that localized flooding. It's not something that I expect, but don't be surprised by it as you get out the door Sunday or Monday. So tonight down to 56, heavy rain, a few storms possible. Tomorrow 60, rain late. And then as you see in your Super 9 day, we go from 60 to 48, then 46 on Tuesday for Halloween and trick-or-treaters. But here's the deal. We're looking at the potential for a few snow flurries late Tuesday evening. Not anything that I'm too concerned about, but it's going to be cold and chilly. That's the big deal here, folks, is we are looking at the potential for wind chills into the 30s as we look ahead to your Halloween. So that'll be it for your forecast here. I'm 9 First Warning meteorologist Brandon Spinner. Again, you're streaming live on YouTube or Facebook, and if you haven't found us on our streaming channels, go check us out there. We are not going to have a 6 o'clock show tonight because it's 6:15, and I'm doing this live on YouTube and Facebook. That's because we've got college football on air right now. We'll be on later on tonight, just shortly after 11, most likely after the college football game on WCPO airs. And then we'll have more breakdowns on what you can expect with that as we look ahead through the rest of the week. But just remember, your heat's probably going to be on, and if you